Hey everybody, NicMakesPlays here, and today, Nightfall is back, baby! We just got a huge Diana buff and a few new cards, so it looks a bit different this time around, and let me show you what the current version of Nightfall looks like today. So as you guys know, I've hit rank 1 with Nightfall 2 different seasons. I have the most games played of Nightfall out of anyone in the world. I'm a huge Nightfall enthusiast, so I'm loving this Diana buff. That's the first thing we can go over real quick. So Diana buff, she used to be Nightfall, give her Challenger, right? Now she's Nightfall, give her Challenger, or when another Nightfall activates. That means like you can play Diana, right? And then play like a Stygian Onlooker, and then since Stygian Onlooker's Nightfall effect activates, she gets Challenger. So she becomes a Nightfall activator as well as being like a Nightfall effect herself. So you can play her first. So don't we have to play her second, giving you a lot of leisure and more Nightfall activators in your plays. This version of Nightfall is a lot more low to the ground. It cut cards like Stalking Shadows, now that costs 3 mana, previously cost 2. So it's a bit too expensive because as a Nightfall activator, which is primarily its role, it was like a Nightfall activator to let you refuel. Costing 2 is very efficient because you could just like play it, then play Diana or whatever, but 3 is a bit too much. So we cut Stalking Shadows. It also cuts cards like Crescent Guardian, which I do love, but this version is a bit more aggro, a bit more fast-paced than the regular Nightfall builds, so 3 mana doesn't make the cut. And it replaces these cards with cheap Nightfall activators like Heaven's Align, cost 1. Unspeakable Horror is a cheap way to use Nightfall while also refueling. And you use cards like the Sky Shadows as a Nightfall activator. When I'm summoned, refill 2 mana if you behold a Nightfall card. You can place a Nightfall activator, lets you have tons of mana for all your spells, like the Ondust, the Horror, and Heaven's Line, stuff like that. So the deck, it's pretty aggressive, this variant. You have a lot of cheap 1-drops. You have like Lunar Dustbringer, Stygian Onlooker. The Flight's good against the meta, against like Ari Kennen, all the Elusives running around, like Poros to block them. Yeah, these Elusives are good at blocking too when you're a Shadestalker. So it has like an Elusive game plan, but also a kind of like a fast-paced, below-the-ground game plan where you can play like Diana, as well as the Stygian, as well as the Sky Shadows, and just pack on like a ton of damage for cheap while they're filling your mana. This is good against Ari Kennen, because when they try to recall, you can just chain it to recall and kill their Droplet, or the Mourned, or their Kennen, or whatever. And then you have Doom Beast plus On the Dust, easy way to drain 2 damage. Help you heal, but more importantly, burn their Nexus down. And you have Nocturne as well to give your whole board fearsome. What you usually do with Nocturne is you want to hook their unit that has the most attack. So that way, when you do your attack with all your fearsome units, you can just hook away the fearsome blocker and push for like 15 plus damage. And then last but not least, we have Moonlight Affliction. I used to run Cygnus the Moonstalker, which could be good. The Moon Shadow, which could be good. But Ari Kennen has a lot of blockers, Poros has a lot of blockers because they have tons of Elusives in the meta right now. As well as without Stalking Shadows. I love getting off Stalking Shadows, so you get multiple copies of it. This card, since we cut Stalking Shadows, we can run Moonlight Affliction. Sounds to enemy units this round. Nightfall can't block this round. You can just like play Nightfall Activator, play this, and open attack. 2 of their units can't block, and you go for game. This is also very good to silence things like Ari Kennen, silence things like Pantheon, and like the White Flame and Shyvana in that deck, because they invest a lot of spells in them. You can just silence those. It's really good in that matchup. So pretty quick, low to the ground deck, a lot of win cons, Elusive and Burn, and I'm going to show you how it plays out, so let's do it. If you guys like Nightfall, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, playing against Jace Lux. Let's see what we can do here. It's going to be a tough matchup. Usually Nightfall is a bit rough against the Demacia decks, but I think we'll be just fine. So I'm going to mulligan here. I usually mulligan for the Lunar Dustbringer. Diana's really good, especially now that she's an activator and a Nightfall payoff effect. So I think Lunar Dustbringer and Diana are usually the main things I mulligan for. Got both. That's really good. So this card's also really... This is also a card you can mulligan for. It's just a Nightfall activator that gives you mana back, which is really, really efficient. So we have to block Forge Chief, otherwise we'll get way too much refill in the spell mana. Harsh Strikes gets 1 spell mana. This next turn, to apply pressure, especially because this deck wants to bank mana until turn 3, and then play a 6-cost spell, we can play this. It's fine. Go for a trade here. That's fine. So we got 2 mana off that trade, which is pretty good for us. Like even though he got a whole mana from Forge Chief, we got 2, so we're chilling. We're in a good spot. Interesting. So one of the neat things about Diana now is we can just play her as like a Nightfall. Like she doesn't need to be activated to have Nightfall. She can be played and then activated later. So we can just play her here. And then we can play the Flight into like a Nightfall card, and then go ahead and activate her Nightfall Challenger effect that way.
Hey, big man.
Alright, so we'll heal back the 2 damage we lost previously. This gets Challenger. I wish Pale would give +1/+0 extra Nightfall units so we can actually challenge that Jace, but that's fine. Attack with this so we can, you know, if he blocks, then we can kill Jace with the Doom Beast and draw a card. He might have Sharp Sight, but we'll see. This is nice because he kind of was forced to block, otherwise it takes way too much damage. Like Nightfall getting a 3 damage in is huge. Let's see if he has like Sharp Sight or anything like that. Okay, good trade. It's a good trade for us. It's a trade that he had to do, or he take way too much damage. So we do the Flight again. It's good.
We can do this.
Okay. Hopefully we'll see combat here, but I guess we'll just go ahead and activate the Flight into Doom Beast. We'll take 3 damage, but we'll heal 2 back, so that's fine. Every time he does damage to us, we're just healing it right back with these. It feels good. This is about to level. That's pretty huge. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm just gonna pass. Because if he plays the assembly line, then we can just make them all not be able to block Fearsomes. Okay, so there's assembly line. As expected, I'm crazy. Alright, put the vulnerable on Lux to choose the main party you want to kill. Level Diana. So now that we waited for assembly line, these both can't block Fearsome, which is nice. Are we gonna level? So we need 3 units to attack. So we need all these to stay alive. We have double Pale, which is nice. Let's hope that we actually get to stay alive here. We're drawing 2 in the process, so like, even if he kills it, he's spending mana and we're refueling. It's not like the biggest deal. The only issue is we won't level Nocturne. And we'd have to hook to push for damage for Nocturne. Alright. So our whole field gets our whole field gets leveled up here, right? Yeah, we have exactly enough. We have 3 Nightfall units. So these are fearsome attackers. We're just pushing for insane damage now. This is 11. And we kill Lux. Okay, very good. Yeah, good thing we baited out the assembly line. That really gave us a crazy turn. Since we didn't have to deal with the 3/3 blocker, fearsome blockers. So we have 2 damage like straight up. We have the Flight probably drawn in the next turn or turn after. We have Elusive, so we have plenty of ways to just seal this game out. We can lead the turn with the Sky Shadows, the Nightfall activator, giving us mana for Unspeakable Horror. Pretty good. We should just win here. I wouldn't be surprised if we just conceded, but we'll see what happens.
My cause is wrong. You can't outrun justice. Yes, my lord.
We could Pale to keep that alive, but I don't think it's worth it. But what we can do is keep this for Onto Dust Straws. I think I like that. I think I like that. So obviously we can just replay these, so blocking it's fine. But first things first, let's see what we can get here.
He's lucky to have me, in my opinion.
Like if we get a Doom Beast off this, we just win on the spot. We're gonna win either way, but be quicker. Interesting.
It's an awesome day for progress.
Let's go ahead and play this. So this card now on level 2 has the ability where when you summoned, you can make everything -1, -0. So we're gonna play him last instead of first. Like, but used to play him first and then play everything afterwards, so they all -1. But playing him last could bait him into playing an extra unit. So we'll just play this first. Play Nocturne. We have Elusive Reach. Yeah, this should definitely be a win this turn. So we have like Fearsome going at him. We have Elusives going at him. We still have draws in our deck to On the Dust, Doom Beast, more Unspeakable Horrors.
I've got your balance book here, Mr. Pharaohs. Show me results, Reginald. Not numbers.
Nice. All right. Good games. Good game. That was satisfying. Alright, I'm playing this Elusive Poros deck that's everywhere right now on Ranked. I made a video on it yesterday if you want to check it out. I like our opponent's playing. But for now, so we're playing Nightfall. Diana's really good in this matchup. Just start like swinging, getting rid of the Poros. This is a good blocker, but the Poros are they're 3/3s with Iceborne Legacy, so we're just gonna full mulligan here for Diana. Maybe Stygian Onlooker, kind of like play the role of the aggressor. If we can put pressure on him, he has to answer to us, which is nice. Alright. We'll start with Dustbringer here. Push 2. Set up our Nightfall activators. A lot of Nightfall activators again. We just need the Nightfall effects. This is a good one, but we need a bit more than that. So he's playing Patch Porobot. Most don't play that. Interesting. It's just a 2/3 here with Augment. Not really a big deal. We can probably apply even more pressure with this, but then I won't get the full 2 refill. So let's play the Flight and see if he has support a block for it. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and attack with both of these. Force a trade and draw a card while dealing 2 damage with the Flight. Kind of like start nickel and diming him away. Set him up for like a Doom Beast kill or a good Nocturne turn. Troll Chant, okay, that's fine. So we still get to keep our unit here, so it's not really that big a deal. I guess we'll play this as another blocker. So we have tons of Nightfall activators. We just need a Nightfall effect to start using. He has a Daring Poro now, and he already has, yeah, so he has a Daring Poro now off the Poro Harder. Unless he's a second patch Porobot. Okay, we should be in a good spot overall. Iterative, okay. 3/4 blocker's kind of annoying, and he does get another 4 off that. Stygian, that's good. So I think we can ruin his turn here by playing Nocturne. It also is just most efficient for our mana. This card got Augment off of the Iterative Improvement, which is interesting, so now it's also a Fearsome blocker. Alright. So we can go ahead here, start off simple with Stygian. I think we're going to draw a card with On the Dusk. We use it on Nocturne, so neither of these can block the Fearsome units. It's annoying. I guess we can go into Unspeakable Horror here and kind of see what he does. That'll be a good value off of it, because we do want more Nightfall units. Another Stygian would be great. Cliff's Dragon, interesting. We can actually Dust Petal plus a Cliff's Dragon to play him in turn early. Like a 6-mana Cliff's Dragon next turn. Is that his Fury? I think we just go ahead and do this. This can attack with the Elusive. This has Fearsome. Pretty good. Okay, pretty good. We can draw a card, also start leveling Nocturne a bit more. It's 1 out of 5 now. Do I need more blockers? I guess I do. We can play this later. Moon Flex should be interesting. It's kind of an interesting hand we have here. But all I know is we have him at 12 and we're at 20. So we're kind of chilling right now. I do want to level Nocturne. We just need to put 4 Nightfall units on board. We have 2 already, so just 2 more on hand. Can try and go for like some crazy plays next turn with On the Dusk and attack with level Nocturne. Full attack here. Okay, good thing I played blockers. This is an easy block. We don't need this. We might even keep this here. Can block the Fearsome unit. We're gonna keep this. We definitely want to level. Level Nocturne. We might even keep this, actually, because when Nocturne levels, he gives your whole board Fearsome, not just the Nightfall units. So we can give this Fearsome and pushback for 2 damage. Going to 14 is fine, I think, especially if we have Moonlight Affliction and like Elusive blockers. That's like his reach is the Elusives. What an interesting hand he has. Okay, that's kind of a problem, but luckily one of them's hooked. Because now this is also a Fearsome. He's just trying to play out of a weird hand. Okay, I see that. Alright. Golden Sisters. That's probably good in this matchup. So I kind of need a Nightfall activator here. So I want to on the well, I guess on the dusking doesn't really matter on this anymore because all of his guys are out of range. We can just do this now. Play some Elusive.
Oh, fluff everywhere.
It's kind of rough. I use more blockers. I guess we can play another Elusive here. So now, we don't even have to attack with this to level him up. I guess this can go here. This can go here. We'll just level up Nocturne like this, while keeping him alive. This seems pretty good. So he was 1 out of 5. I love that. His vision's so freaking sick. He was 1 out of 5, now he's 5 out of 5. Okay. So we can... I was gonna use this. Here in the north? Okay, that's pretty good. The trade. Oh, it lives. Yeah, that's really good for him. So, we're so good though, because we have a Nocturne now, and we can just use this effect to, what is it? When you play a unit, give enemies -1, -0. So this will only do it once. This is still really good. Overwhelmingly important. Okay. Diana. Damn it, she's 8 out of 4, so she's definitely leveled up. -4. Okay, so we can probably just like block it down. We can probably just block it down here, take 6. And if he tries to buff this with like Fear of the North, then we have Melee Affliction to silence it, which is good. Okay. And adds aforementions. So we can silence this, and we can silence this, because this way we'll save some health. Save 3 health. I could have also silenced this to keep one of these alive, which might be better. Well, let's just play it safe. Now we're out of, like, triple Mystic Shot range, I guess.
The moon is our queen, the night her kingdom.
Plays here, be mana efficient. Maybe could have played something else because I don't know if we'll get Nightfall, but I'm assuming we'll draw a Nightfall card. Okay. That's fine. So go ahead and play this. So we actually just didn't draw a Nightfall card. Interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have played Diana last turn. But nonetheless, we have like so many fearsome blockers, or fearsome attackers, that we should just win here. As well as elusives. So now this one can't even block the fearsomes.
The promise of a new moon upon you, Bloom Tender.
Okay.
Where did that one
So he has 2 fearsome blockers, we have 2 elusive units. Whenever he plays first, he has to block those ones, so yeah. This should just be lethal here. He can block these 2, but he can't block these 2, so that's good.
What have Poros done to you?
Alright, good game.
We speak, and they will hear us.
Playing against Renekton, Nasus Ascended. Interesting. Alright, so we have Diana. Diana's like the strongest card in this deck right now, being a Nightfall Activator and a Powerful Up effect herself. So we can go ahead and mold these 2. 1-drops could be good for Diana, because they work like to complement her since they're cheap. So we're going first. I love keeping this card. It's a very good card, but I think we want a 1-drop just so like turn 3 we can play Diana into Onlooker. And we're also going first, so the Nightfall Dustbringer would be great here as well to start applying pressure. Alright, so we got the Dustbringer. That's good. Buried Sun just got buffed. Now that goes straight to the field. So we can go ahead and play our Dustbringer. and get a pedal. So we have a lot of Nightfall activators, considering Diana herself's an activator now. We'll attack here, because this is a good trade. Obviously it has Fearsome, so we'd love to trade at that. And it doesn't trade, it takes 2. So that's good damage, just kind of racking it up. I don't believe this deck has any healing, so we're kind of good to go here. So Sky Shadows is fine here. Just like refills 2 spell mana. It's really good. Because now we have a blocker to stop this pressure. He's playing in a more aggressive version of the Ascend deck with Nasus for Renekton, which I kind of like. Alright, let's see what we got here. Hail. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play Heaven's Align, and then click OK, kind of like bait him into Diana. A lot of times he'll just pass back here, yeah. But you never know, so people might slip up and play harder than Diana. So now we have the Challenger. We have a buff for her, which is nice. Don't think we'll need it. I don't really think that his deck has too much to do here besides Quicksand. If he Quicksands, it's not a big deal. Because it's just like a 2-mana Diana for a Quicksand, which is fine. Okay. Luckily, those cards trade evenly. They both have 2 health. But then we can just replay another Diana, which is great. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Because we can actually play the Cloven Way this turn. But I think next turn what we're going to do is play Dusk Petal into Diana and Nocturne. Maybe we'll just pass. He might pass back, so we're losing a ton of mana. Pretty good pass. But it was worth it for us, I believe. Alright. So to get to keep this, we can utilize her Challenger. As I said, like, she just gets Challenger every time you use Nightfall now if she sticks in the field, so that's why it was good for us. So we can go ahead here. I guess we can give this vulnerable, so that way, like, this card can hit that card. Diana can hit that now, because I left Diana alive, at the expense of our mana, which is very fair.
Night descends. I will be heard. It's our time.
Alright. So we're continuing to level up Nocturne. Now we're 3 out of 5. I love how you know how fast people think. People think he takes a while to level up, but like all you have to do before you play him is attack the 2 Nightfall units and you're good to go. Okay, that is scary. That is very scary. I won't lie. It's a bit of a doozy, but we can stun that card if he gives us an action. Nice. Okay, I don't blame him. I mean, okay. So we actually can't stun that. I was gonna say no one plays around Cloven Way, but Spell Shield, yeah. Can't really stop the Spell Shield here. I guess we'll just play the Dust Petal here. Definitely gonna go for the Nocturne level up next turn. Oh man. Oh jeez. Okay. Alright. Well, this is getting a bit out of hand here. So I think we can't do anything about that, yeah. Unfortunately, it's just how it's gonna be. We can at least pass here, because we know he has to attack, because he wants to level Renekton. Taking a lot of damage, and Diana dies. Very good plays from our opponent so far. I kind of like this deck he's playing. I respect it. I might try this out later. I love Ascended myself. So we have another Diana, but it's not mana efficient to play it. So I think what we're going to do is just stun this. We're just going to stun this and try and weave a pathway to go for game next turn. Because he only has 1 blocker. That's the downside of like this whole play he did. He only has 1 blocker. Everything else about it's pretty scary. So let's just play this first to get a random Nightfall unit and see what we get. Stygian. I like that. I really like that. Alright. So next we can play Diana. So the reason I don't click OK here and pass back is I want to give him as little actions as possible to try and put blockers out. So we want to actually just like, instead of passing back to him here by clicking OK, we want to just immediately develop. Now we're 4 wide versus 1 blocker, which is huge. Okay. This is 4 damage. We can Fading for another one. Alright, let's get 4 more damage here. Is this gonna be enough? It depends if he has 1 more blocker. No more blockers, okay. So, obviously we're gonna kill Renekton here. Or I guess this one would go here, because it pushes overwhelm damage. Kill Renekton. So this is our max amount of damage, right? The only thing we could do is like Pale. We can, okay, if we Pale, we can draw another Pale or Onto Dusk. And Onto Dusk can buff this by 2 attack. Okay, but this is lethal as it is. Alright. GG's. GG's. That was close. That was really scary for a second. As you guys can see, I told you already, Nightfall's back, baby! Deck is really good. It's one of those fun decks in all of Runeterra. It's super explosive. I definitely recommend trying it out if you haven't already. As you can see, Dyna buff was huge. Pretty much every single game, she was just insane. So, yeah, this deck's really good, and I definitely recommend it. So, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.